Hey guys, today we're talking overload techniques. When to use them, why to use them, and what they are. So overload techniques are just ways that we can help promote more muscle breakdown with the goal of increasing muscle growth later on. Now there's numerous different overload techniques, but we're going to cover the three main ones that I think you should use and that are most commonly talked about. So the first one is the infamous superset. Supersets are a combination of exercise performed consecutively with no rest in between sets. So a great way to use supersets is by training opposing muscle groups. So for example, doing a tricep push down, right? Working the triceps and then supersetting that with, let's say, a barbell curl where you're working the opposite muscle. So you're getting the push and the pull. The same could be applied with a leg extension and a leg curl. Also, supersets are really great if you're in a time crunch or just trying to get more done in a shorter period of time because, again, that can help increase the intensity and shorten the rest period between the sets and exercises that you're doing. Number two, the second overload technique we're covering is drop sets. So drop sets are a continuation of the working set by lowering the weight and then immediately completing an additional set or multiple sets before resting. Drop sets are great for adding additional volume because you're doing an extra amount of reps. And again, hopefully that turns into greater muscle stimulus and breakdown, which again, turns into growth. And typically drop sets are done on the last working set of an exercise. So for example, let's say you're doing your last working set on leg extension, you knock out your 15 reps with 70 pounds, you immediately drop the stack to 50 pounds and complete an extra 10 reps without resting in between. The third and final overload technique we're going to cover today is forced reps. So forced reps are one of my favorite overload techniques because it's great for getting your nervous system and your mind used to a heavier amount of weight. And they're helpful because squeezing out that extra few reps that you would normally be able to do or the heavier weight that you would normally be able to push can help create that greater muscle stress and overload like all of these techniques. And again, we hope that extra stress and stimulus in turn turns to muscle growth. So a good example of forced reps would be, let's say you're doing 225 on bench press and you can only get 3 reps on your own, but you grab a spotter and after you complete the 3 reps and you go for the 4th rep, your spotter helps you get the 4th and then gives you just enough to get the 5th. So you don't want them giving way too much effort. You still want to push the weight as much as you can, but they're there and ready and giving you the amount of assistance that you need to complete the reps safely. Lastly, I want to touch on when to use each overload technique. Supersets are great if you're in a time crunch and you need to get more done in a shorter period of time, and you can really just mix them in throughout the week, especially if you have a workout split that is training opposing muscle groups on the same day, like an arm day where you got bis and tris. Now drop sets on the other hand, you kind of want to refrain from using them too much. So you don't want to use them on every single set, every single exercise. I would only use them maybe once a workout. So if it's the last exercise of your chest day, let's say for example, and you're doing a chest press machine, that would be a good chance to finish that way, or as the example I used earlier, a leg extension to finish off your legs. But I wouldn't use it on a heavy compound like a bench press or anything too complicated. And lastly, in contrast to the drop sets, forced reps are actually great for those heavier compounds, especially pressing movements like the shoulder press or the bench press. Getting a spotter to help you lift that extra weight or extra few reps can be great. So hopefully you guys learned something in this video. Again, these are great techniques to just throw in your own training program, or especially if you're following our monthly training program, applying it in those workouts. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions and I'll catch you next week.